नमो भगवते श्री रमणाय. My name is Jayashree Sitaraman. A very warm welcome to everyone to Nashville Satsang, offering on this joyous occasion of the 127th Advent to Arunachala celebration of Bhagavan Sri Ramana. In 1903, Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni had explained how the famous Ganesha shloka, Shuklam Varadaram, would apply equally to Bhagavan when he heard of Ramana's spiritual stature. In this composition, Dr. Ambika Kameshwar describes Lord Ganesha having come as our Sadguru Ramana to protect us and deliver us from this ocean of samsara. Presenting to you Gajamukha Naada in Hamsadwani Raga and Aditala by Saraswati Gowda, Pratibha Sundaresh and Ushamani.
Gajamukha Naada Nija Guna Bodha Karunai Purivai Shri Vigneshwara. Gajamukha Naada Nija Guna Bodha Karunai Purivai Shri Vigneshwara. Gajamukha Naada Nija Guna Bodha Karunai Purivai Shri Vigneshwara. Gajamukha Naada Nija Guna Bodha Karunai Purivai Shri Vigneshwara. Gajamukha Naada. Guru Swarupamai Ulahil Vandemai Kaapum Isha Ganesha. Guru Swarupamai Ulahil Vandemai Kaapum Isha Ganesha. Gajamukha Naada Nija Guna Bodha Karunai Purivai Shri Vigneshwara. Gajamukha Naada. பரம்பொருளென உன்னை பணிந்திட அருட்கடலென உன்னை துதித்திட பவவினை உன் அருளால் வென்றிட வரம் வேண்டும். பரம்பொருளென உன்னை பணிந்திட அருட்கடலென உன்னை துதித்திட பவவினை உன் அருளால் வென்றிட வரம் வேண்டும். பரம்பொருளென உன்னை பணிந்திட அருட்கடலென உன்னை துதித்திட பவவினை உன் அருளால் வென்றிட வரம் வேண்டும். உலகில் வந்தெம்மை காக்கும் நீஷா ரமணேஷா கணேஷா. உலகில் வந்தெம்மை காக்கும் நீஷா ரமணேஷா கணேஷா. ரமணேஷா கணேஷா ரமணேஷா.
Next offering is an English song, verses translated from Bhagavan's Aksharamanmalai by Professor K. Swaminathan and music by Sri K.S. Raghunathan, rendered by Pratibha Sundaresh and Ushamani.
Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. O moon of grace, with your cool rays, touch my heart and open the floodgates of nectar within. Now fragrant as a flower is my mind, add to it your fragrance perfect, and let it remain infinite. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Look at me, think of me, touch me, make me fit, ripen me, then my master be, govern me. Look at me, think of me, touch me, make me fit, ripen me, then my master be, govern me, 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 govern me. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. In the house of open space, where neither night nor day there is, come let's sport in bliss. In the house of open space, where neither night nor day there is, come let's sport in bliss. Come let's sport in bliss. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Me from my house you enticed, my heart chamber entered, little by little revealed your freedom infinite. Me from my house you enticed, my heart chamber entered, little by little revealed your freedom infinite, 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 infinite. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Now, we will conclude our offering by reading an article written by Sri Swami Sivananda from the book Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, The Resplendent Sun, Angles of Vision, compiled by Sri A.R. Natarajan, published by Bangalore Ramana Center. Swami Sivananda, a spiritual giant, visited Bhagavan Ramana on Maharshi's birthday and sang bhajans and danced in ecstasy with Bhagavan's devotees. Swami Sivananda radiated his divine messages through his books, articles, and letters. This is one such very profound article reflecting on the self-enquiry teaching of Bhagavan Ramana. Reading is by Subhadra Subramanian.
Who are you, friend? Sri Swami Sivananda, Rishikesh. Look within first. Without ever bestowing a rational thought on the subject or object, everyone is working at feverish haste, convinced that in the palm of his hand lies the destiny of mankind. It is a great mystery indeed, and Bhagavan Ramana lived to unravel this mystery. It is Maya's fraud, and Bhagavan Ramana lived to expose this fraud. It is the deluded imagination of the ego. Bhagavan Ramana, through the powerful beam of his self-knowledge, to dispel this delusion. He taught man to look within himself first and to know the subject, after which alone he could have a true vision of the object and a correct understanding of the relationship between the two, and thus be enabled to adopt the proper attitude to life and the world, and to get a clear conception of the goal. Maya's ferocious delusion. A businessman today accumulates wealth by means fair and foul. What is his true relation with those for whom he gathers this wealth? What effects do his hoarding enterprises have upon his inner personality? How will his actions ultimately react upon him? Which businessman ever thinks of these great problems? He has set before himself the one great ideal of the greatest accumulation of wealth. He gets into a mania, and this mania is none other than Maya in her ferocious form. She does not allow him a moment to reflect on the great problems that profoundly affect him, his very inner soul. Till the life's end draws near the poor man, and coldly staring at his benumbed body, life asks him, "Who are you, friend, to deprive the poor of the livelihood? Come into my noose now, and leave them to the care of the God who alone protects them all, as He protects you." A politician similarly struggles to save his country from every kind of calamity and catastrophe. Friend, who are you to save the world? What is the springboard of your patriotism? Is it the divine will, or is it some selfish motive, however subtle and glorified it may be? But the politician has the least time or inclination to analyze. Maya keeps him ever busy and ever externalized, ever seated on the high pedestal of a social reformer where none but he can sit. A scientist knows everything in the world except his own self. He can neither place himself underneath a microscope nor fill himself into a test tube. He wants to fly to the moon and compute the distance to the farthest star. Who are you, friend? And what is that intelligence that enables you to peep into the mysterious universe? Who knows? And with what scientific instrument can he discover it? Similar is the case of a religious preacher on whose lips ever dwells the loftiest Upanishadic mantras and scriptural texts. He can and is ever eager to show you the path to salvation. Who are you, friend? And what are your qualifications? What is the depth of your wisdom? Have you ever had time to look within yourself and mind your own spiritual progress, or have you abandoned yourself to finding others' faults and preaching to others? Who are you, friend? These and 1,000 similar questions which everyone ought to ask oneself took birth as Bhagavan Ramana, and in his austere silence and resplendent gaze pierced everyone's heart so that one's eyes might turn inward in a searching self-enquiry. Bhagavan Ramana keeps asking the question, who are you, friend? His life, his movement, his gait, and his sitting posture, his talk, and his upadesha, everything concerning Ramana posed this question before all. Who are you, friend? Not even in the answer to the question, but in the question itself is peace and prosperity hidden. The moment one asks this question of oneself, there descends upon him an ineffable peace and bliss that surpasseth understanding. For at that moment his gaze is turned inward. He snaps the pain bonds that bind him to the miserable mundane plane. If only he seeks the self within, at that moment itself he enjoys bliss. Who would desist from diving deeper within after tasting such joy on the very surface of this ocean of bliss? Beloved embodiments of bliss, that ocean is Bhagavan Ramana. Wherever you turn, you find him silently gazing at you and asking you, who are you, friend? When you ask yourself this question, you will find the infinite source of peace and bliss. May his blessing be upon you all. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramana.
Our immense thanks to Arunachala Ashrama and team for giving us this opportunity to offer our presentation at Bhagwan's feet in today's celebration. We also thank Bangalore Ramana Center immensely for all the help rendered in our today's offering. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.